Welcome to the
Look at that.
Comicstorian RnBe Weekly.
That is really cool.
The Comicstorian.
Comicstorian RnBe Weekly.
I like it.
So today we're going to be talking about Ant-Man and Wasp. Full-blown spoilers. We're going to be going super into the plot. We're going to discuss what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, looking at some of the theories that have been
Hey,
put out there.
which cameras look? Is that camera? Can you guys see that on the camera?
That's not on Twitch, Rob.
That camera is too far away.
For those of you guys who are joining us, I'm not sure if we're putting this on
looks
Patreon or if it's going to go up as a RnBe or what it's going to be. It might just be Patreon as Twitch exclusive. Why not? Make it for those individuals. You guys are awesome. You're supporting us directly. If you are watching this, you know how Rob works. We can't.
It's a wood panel on. Okay, so they have a bed. They have a bed, and the headboard goes against, and where the headboard is wood panel. It's like a masculine bedroom. It looks really cool.
Well, the thing about wood beds is you've got to worry about ants.
What?
You and the puns.
I was trying. I was hoping he was going to jump in, but he didn't get it.
Oh my God! Damn.
So anyway, guys.
Even Gary rolled his eyes behind the camera.
I didn't get it.
So anyway, guys, for those of you who are wondering why this is not the normal weekly poll cast today, we just said it last week in the weekly poll. We might have a spoiler cast. I hit up everyone and said, "Hey, let's do a spoiler cast." Tiffany said she wasn't available. Sal said he wasn't really interested. Joel says he was going to be out of town, I think. And Rob didn't respond. So I was like, all right, Dan, hey, let's do a Comicstorian Weekly spoiler cast. That's what we'll do. Yeah. And then Rob called today and said, so we doing that thing? And I was like, Rob, you didn't tell anyone you were going to be here.
Yeah,
so join us at this time.
But I assumed it was known that I would be. I don't know why you would assume that.
I don't know, because you're moving and you're busy half the time at the moment.
Yeah, like there's no reason to believe that I'm guaranteed to be there. But I assumed that you would know.
Like literally on the scheduled time last week, you were late because of the housing stuff.
What was I doing last week?
You said someone called you last second, contract or whatever, so you were running behind, had to jump in the shower still. We were already live waiting for you.
Oh yeah, no, I had to run over to the house real quick.
Yeah.
It was I think it was the steamer guy. Either that or I just like lied my ass off. But I'm pretty sure it was a steamer guy.
Didn't we just have a discussion, Rob, that we are such good friends that we will not lie to each other?
Not to your knowledge.
Man,
I remember you telling him that. I didn't hear the other way.
Yeah, I didn't go the other way around.
Reciprocation.
I said I will not abide a liar.
Wow.
I didn't say I don't lie.
Well, okay then.
I don't lie. I think it was a steam carpet cleaning guy.
Was it Stanley?
So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's jump right in.
Stanley
steamer.
The carpet cleaner.
Stanley the steamer.
He steamed your carpets to get those ants out.
Bad joke.
Wow.
This is what you get when you mix Comicstorian Weekly with RnBe.
Wow. It's a thing that's happening.
It's a thing that's happening.
Jesus.
Ow.
I enjoyed Ant-Man and Wasp. It was fun. I liked Ghost better than everything else in the movie.
I did too.
I really did too.
You know what's funny about Ghost? The origin for Ghost is nothing like in that movie.
I never looked at. I didn't even know who Ghost was until the movie came out. I was like, who the hell is Ghost?
I didn't know either. I looked it up, got the origin, we put it up in the channel. The real origin for Ghost is creepy as hell. He's basically, think of her father, but if he was like a creepy stalker kind of a guy.
Is he like a new character or like an old character?
No, he's been like from Thunderbolts way back in the day, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I want to say like early 2000s, not way back.
Thunderbolts first happened after Civil War. That happened during Civil War.
Okay, so he's that new then. Yeah, he's that new.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was like an 80s character. I'm like, who the hell is he, man?
But no, I loved the Ghost character. I thought it was great. When I first saw the origin and saw that it was this just like old creepy guy, I was like, that sounds like it'd be a lot better than what I'm seeing, which is this young woman doing ghost stuff. And I'm like, is this just like, what was the swap? I hope it's not the exact same origin. We just swap for the sake of swapping. No, her origin, I think, is so much better than the other Ghost origin. I think she is a better character than the other Ghost.
Yeah,
she has more of a reason to do it. Like literally at the end of his origin, he's like, well, I just do things to mess with people. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's not really like good motive.
Because
that's just
being a jerk. That's fine.
I'm a jerk, therefore I'm a villain.
Yeah, exactly. Like I do it just to be a dick.
Yeah.
No, and that guy's defense though.
It's Rob with the Men in Black bleeper.
Oh yeah,
just
run up on folks. No, I mean if I could do that, if I could make myself invisible, I would do stuff like pull out chairs in front of them so they stub their toe. Like I would do little things like that.
Well, how? She's not invisible.
No, I know she's not. Well, she
can go invisible.
She phases in and out.
Yeah.
But was it like a true invisibility? I mean, she goes invisible for like seconds. We didn't see her go perpetually invisible and just like stop.
Well, that's why I say like she fades out of the eye's visual spectrum for at brief periods. Now, whether she can harness that or not, that's the one thing that I didn't really like about it, was the fact that she basically lost the ability to do that. Like once she was fixed.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. Now,
because one thing stated by Kevin Feige is that she will return. Why would this character return with 0 abilities?
Well, I mean, remember, she's still like a master combatant and all that kind of good stuff. And really
but then she's just Black Widow.
Yeah, that's
the
true,
unique element of her is gone, and she's just Black Widow.
But there's a lot of Black Widows in Marvel Comics.
Well, I know.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's.
I mean, Hope is basically Black Widow if you take away her suit.
Hope?
Kinda.
Oh, the Bishop, or not Bishop, Cable's chick, yeah.
No. Hope,
as in the daughter.
Oh, I was like,
in the movie we're talking about.
I was like, okay, maybe we're thinking of a different Hope, because in the comics, she copies people's powers. So, dude, okay, that's the other thing, man. I am so glad this movie had consequences.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, we're probably going to go back on the same topics 1,000 times because I got more to say about Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
No,
we can keep talking about Ghost.
Well,
Wait, I want to say something about Ghost too.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, teacher, yes. Can I say something? So I won't lie.
Pass the high five.
Piece of shit.
You are so white, dude. Are you fucking serious? I swear to God, man.
Neutral.
All right.
I like how you both are like cautious on that.
Yeah, because I thought you were going to yank it away.
So I won't lie. At first, I kind of thought her Ghost's power was being in like multiple different timeline things.
I love the effects they used for her.
Because like a lot of the times when they like showed her doing things, I was like, wait, is that her? Like she did that like differently, but then her body went back in time a little bit. Like I couldn't tell if that was what it was. Because a lot of the times she would walk and like all of a sudden her face would be like, oh. And you're like, wait, why is she going, oh? I just thought that was like, there's multiple of her. That's why she could phase through things because she was indefinitely, you couldn't tell what part of the time she was. But then luckily when they explained it a little bit, I was like,
but I think it was dimensional. Because
quantum. She was
going between the dimensions.
Yeah.
She didn't kind of what you were thinking is not timeline related.
I did think it was kind of odd though the number of times where she's intangible. She walks through stuff. She does this that she clearly has control of. Then all of a sudden Hope blasts her and she gets blasted and you're like, wait, but at what point because they also like kick her a bunch of times and you're like, okay, why is she sometimes getting hit, but she clearly has control of the powers because of some of the fights where she does actually control them. And it seemed very inconsistent.
I don't think it was really control of her power. I think it was like an on-off switch.
Okay.
Like, it's like being able to turn invisible, but you flicker.
Okay.
Is what it is. So
I
like,
can see that.
Yeah, so for her, it's like, okay, I'm going to activate this thing or, but even then, it's one of those things where it seemed like it was constantly in control.
Yeah.
Like it was a passive ability.
Maybe
like
it was just a concentration thing. You
know, like during a fight.
So in the fight, she kind of loses it here and there, and then she kind of slips up.
Yeah. See,
plus,
that would make
it's very
sense,
hard.
yeah.
I mean,
if
you're fighting normal people, though, I can anticipate you're going to kick me and be like that. But I can't really anticipate you're going to shrink and uppercut me.
But that also wouldn't make much sense considering she had to have that containment field to make her stay like solid and as one. Whereas if she truly had control of it.
She said the suit helped to give her power. So my assumption is she would go into the containment field, feel better. It'd be like when you wake up in the morning. You feel 10 times better than you do at night. So it's almost like her control over it runs down as her body's wearing down for the day.
Her battery's draining.
Yeah, her battery's draining. And the suit helps keep her charged a little extra.
No, the suit regulated her powers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it helped her keep control of everything as to what was going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I love the character.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I would love the idea if they said, okay, she now like because Jenna Van Dyne's basically has the Enigma Force, she's Captain Universe now. Because of the fact that because she kind of fixes her, it'd be cool if it was just like you can turn this ability on and off now. Because then she could literally just like phase and she'd be like an amazing.
Is. I mean, she ran off with Goliath.
Bill Foster. Yeah, Bill Foster.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I loved that character. I loved that he was never truly villain or good guy.
Yeah, and
he was always just, I kind of want to help, but I don't want to go too far, like with the Scott Lang's daughter thing. Yeah. I loved that where he goes, you touch his daughter, I'm not helping you with anything. And I was like, you know what? You've gained my respect.
Yeah, the guy's got a moral compass.
Evil villain guy that's trying to kill Hank Pym.
That's the thing is he's not like, when he first starts doing his stuff, you're like, okay, he is a villain.
Yeah.
But then as he continuously went, you were like, okay, maybe he's not a villain. He's just someone who's trying to help out the villain because he sees where they're coming from. And I just thought that was a very good aspect to the character, because so often do you see they're just the henchmen, basically. And so I liked that he had that dynamic aspect to his character where he just wanted to help people.
I mean, the question you have to ask yourself is Thor going to blow a hole in him at some point?
Civil War reference.
Civil War reference, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, it was
like,
really
wait
it was
a
really the
second.
Thor robot that Reed
It was
Richards
the Thor
made.
robot.
Yeah.
They tried
The
to harness
Thorbot?
that- Yeah, the Thorbot.
Yeah.
Blew a hole in
Yeah,
Goliath.
he blew a hole through Goliath and killed him. And it was like, oh, okay, so?
I liked them comparing sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Yes.
to 40 feet, 65.
Yeah. No, there were some great things in there. Yeah. Again, like
So-
my final thoughts on Ghost, that she really needs to come back
Well,
and have
Ghost
her
was a
powers
good
back.
character, and I think this is why we like her so much. I was reading about this. Okay, when I was watching the movie, the gang, Sonny, whatever his name is, or the bat, like the just like mafia style guy.
Oh yeah.
He was kind of lame, but his purpose was to have a true villain, so
Yes.
the Ghost could go in that middle road, and the movie had an actual villain.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't be Ghost. Not if you're going to turn it into an anti-hero or kind of have her help out, that
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So I liked that, and when I read that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense, because that character was so annoying.
Yeah.
Because I don't care who you are.
No,
this
he was
dude, you're in the
annoying.
world of the Avengers are real, and he's like, I want them Hank Pym particles. Oh man, the dude's giant. Let me run.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I want them Pym particles, man.
If a giant man is chasing me, like, I think he even says that when he picks him up. Like, okay, just give it up. Just
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like
come on.
65 feet tall. Like, where are you gonna go, man? Like, there's nowhere you can run to that I can't get you.
Yeah, I'm a
Jesus.
huge dude.
Yeah. Okay, so can we talk about the Enigma Force?
Which one's the Enigma Force?
That's what Janet Van Dyne has.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I got more to than just the Enigma Force. What is this quantum realm?
It's the
'Cause this-
microverse.
Is it? But like, is it the microverse that we know from the comics, where there's a whole race of people and there's stuff down
Well,
there?
probably they just haven't discovered them yet. I mean, you're talking about them shrinking down on an infinitesimal microscopic level. Like it was originally you had Micronauts, and then it was like a Fantastic Four comic.
Yeah.
That revealed the fact that you could shrink down, because Reed Richards took Pym particles, and you could shrink down into the microverse. It was just this astronomically small universe. From what we've seen, we only ever saw one portion of it. So there's no reason to believe that we wouldn't see anything else. Like there's not a whole race of people that live there. They're just on the far side of what is that universe, basically, or some uncharted planet or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But like a lot of that stuff's not known. A lot of that stuff's totally uncharted waters. They have no idea what it is that's out there, so it gives them the ability to explain it. But no, I mean, like from what I can tell, that's the microverse. It looks like the microverse.
That's what I thought too.
The only way
Do they have the Micro Machines guy?
Micro
We're gonna have a bunch
Machines.
of little cars. We're gonna go really fast. You're gonna go by the track. You're gonna go right. You're gonna go left. You're gonna go over. Loop, loop, loop. And we're gonna go crazy. It's gonna be awesome. Micro Machines. Micro Machines. Micro Machines.
I used to love listening to that guy talk back in the day. Micro Machines. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, no. The only way it's kind of weird though, because the quantum realm, like it looks like it's a realm with like space and time. Because I mean, I'm like Ant-Man's stuck there right now, which I'm pretty sure they're going to invoke time travel. But
Yeah.
still.
Well, okay. Well, the rumor is that's floating around right now. Apparently, Avengers 4 was casting a more adult Cassie. So, based on that theory, we're going to have a major time jump in Avengers 4, and Cassie's going to save Scott, and we're going to get Stature.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like keep Cassie Lang in the modern day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that. That'd be awesome.
We get Stature in that way.
Well, they really
And
kinda
apparently
tease
it's
it, too.
implying that they may start setting up a young Avengers team.
Well, they tease that because she was like, "I want to be your sidekick."
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's like, "No, but you're not old enough," basically. So that would be awesome to see them like fight side by side.
Right.
See, my question is, I feel like if they did that though, they would kill Cassie or they'd kill Scott. Like one of them would
But
have
if
to
they
go.
end
I
up doing
feel like.
time travel, whatever they do, I feel is just going to be changed back at the end of it.
See, I don't think they're gonna cheat. Like
You know?
I don't think they're gonna bend us out on Avengers 4. Like I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna use time travel, but it'll serve a purpose. It won't be like a way to get out of the story that we wrote ourselves, selves into, like this hole that we made. Like I think it'll be done in a way where it'll serve the purpose of the story, but it won't be used as a cheap cop out.
Yeah.
like I still say like I like the idea of having like Avengers from three generations, like Avengers Forever, the past, the present, and the future, who all like come together to fight Thanos. I still think that's an awesome idea. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. But even then, see, that's the thing. Like that's only one aspect. So it could just be that like she saves Scott. He gets out of the quantum realm and goes back just far enough to basically say like, hey, look, everybody, here's what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then they in turn do something and something changes or something along those lines. I mean, it doesn't mean that like they'll go all the way back in time and stop Thanos from being born or get the Infinity Stones. You know,
They'd
or
go
something
back
like
and
that.
stop Peter Quill.
Yeah. Because Peter Quill's an idiot.
Oh God, I know he is.
Almost
Okay,
had the
go back to
glove
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Back to Ant-Man and Wasp.
So
Yeah.
we'll talk about theories and all that stuff in a minute. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go back down to the movie. How do you feel? For me, I felt that this was the best sequel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, bear in mind, my opinion, my favorite movies go Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Ant-Man. But I feel like this one rewarded you for watching Civil War and Ant-Man 1, but at the same time, you were able to understand it if you didn't really watch them.
All right,
Yeah.
based strictly on that, I would say yes.
Okay.
But in terms of like a movie and the story that was told, Winter Soldier still takes it for me as the best.
Well, that's still number one for me.
Yeah.
But I'm also a Winter Soldier fanboy, so
Yeah.
You are.
yeah.
No, dude.
He's Red Hook with a robot arm.
He
How can
is.
I not like him?
It's amazing, yeah. He's got like a vibranium arm. He's the White Wolf. Or
And a
whatever they call
paintball
him.
mask. Still don't know why he rocks that, but whatever.
I think it's cool.
Dude, you can go buy it at any paintball store.
Well, you could buy any Jason Voorhees mask. Doesn't mean it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Red Hood's got an iconic mask. Why can't Winter Soldier?
See, they did
He
that
does.
so that you can cosplay him easier.
Ah.
Yeah, that's true. Just put a red motorcycle helmet over your face.
No. Cosplay Winter Soldier. I can just go buy
Paintball mask.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
some
And
goggles.
just get tin foil, put it around your arm, you're good to go.
Yeah.
I am doing that cosplay at the next comic book convention we go to. If you see a really poorly done Winter Soldier cosplay, thank you, Dan.
How long did it take you to make that costume? Like 20 minutes.
Not even that.
And like 18 of it was the aluminum foil. Yeah. Because I had a hard time keeping it down while trying to wrap it. But yeah, no, okay, I'll take that. I'll say that if you watch the Marvel Cinematic Universe up to this point, this is like, okay, so there's aftermath for Civil War.
Yeah.
Like there's a punishment for what happened for violating the Sokovia Accords. Like the idea that like
I do think it's
Kingpin-
kind of dumb, though, that
What?
they're treating him like that. And Cap and his crew just roaming around like, we need you to find them. Well, they're out of the country. Not much we can do.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also Captain America.
I get it,
yeah. But you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it is Ant-Man who really cares. Like, whatever. Yeah, playing his drums. But yeah, no, it really, I mean, it was an enjoyable movie. Like, I'm glad they make more movies like this, if I'm being honest. More movies that have like a comedic element.
Yeah.
I love like the fact that it's, if anything, it's more of a comedy film with superheroes, which I think I loved it. Like the number, I just loved that a lot of the jokes were just very small. They weren't shoved in your face.
No.
But they were things like throwing a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser.
God, that was awesome.
Or the
Like-
salt shaker.
Yeah.
The salt shaker was
The
hilarious.
salt
Salt shaker
shaker.
was
My
awesome.
favorite joke, though, was when he shrunk down and it broke and he's a kid in the school.
Yeah.
Yes.
God, I love that.
Like-
Hoodie.
Yeah. It's like the principal was like, hey, you stop. And then he just runs.
Principal's just like,
Yeah, he's like, whatever. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. That was pretty awesome.
The chat would like to know how he was stuck in his house for 2 years and still had a six-pack like that.
well, because it's Scott Lang.
Yeah. He was doing P90. That's what it was.
Every day.
Every day.
With magic and the drums.
Yeah, doing P90.
This actually, and I know there's an actual answer to this, has to be. How does somebody under house arrest have money?
I was actually thinking that during that is how are they affording to stay in the house?
Because like I see the billionaire situation, they make their money no matter what.
But it's Scott Lang.
Scott Lang does not.
Well, remember
just came out of
company,
prison.
That whole company was being ran.
Okay,
Yeah,
he
there
was
was that
taking
whole
his money
company.
from that.
But I
guess.
mean,
But even if that's-
then, the company was almost out of money.
That's true. It was almost bankrupt. Well,
Yeah.
it's probably like PIM particles. I ain't got to explain shit. It just works. It just, I don't know. No, see, but that's the kind of the cool thing, though. It's stuff like that you take with a grain of salt. You're just kind of like, it's a thing that's happening. And then you just like get into
yeah.
the story. Yeah, you just got to
Yeah.
continue on. But
I actually, another thing I did like about the fallout from Civil War, because you're the consequences, was like when we started it up and Hank Pym and Hope were mad at him.
yeah.
I legit was like, Natalie was, I was saying
I
Natalie.
couldn't remember why.
It was either you or Natalie, because you're both on my sides. And
Yeah.
I thought it was you. You're like, why are they mad at him? I'm like, I thought we ended Ant-Man 1 on a good note. I'm like, are they going to
Yeah.
reference
Yeah.
Civil War? Like,
that's what I thought. I was like, they were friends at the end of Ant-Man 1.
Yeah.
like, how do
Like
we
they
go-
were a couple at the end of
Yeah.
it. Like But I
And
loved
he
how
didn't
they
exactly get
explained
a
it.
lot of stuff in Civil War. He just said like Ant-Man had a whole sequence in Civil War. He rolled out of a van. Hey
Yeah.
guys.
But that's a cool thing because he stole Hank Pym's tech, and then he lied to Hope Van Dyne.
Yeah.
And didn't tell her where he was going or what was going on. He just disappeared on her. So he was betraying both people who trusted him.
But it makes sense now. But when it started up, I'm like, I was thinking of like they're not gonna wrap him that much into Civil War, are they?
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently they are.
I'm really glad that they did, because a lot of the stuff, I'm pretty sure we actually already touched on this, but a lot of the stuff that they did wrap into the other movies, you didn't need to see them. They explain it enough that you're like, oh, I know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even if you didn't see Civil War, you knew that he went to help Captain America, he got caught, and he stole the suit in doing so. That's why they're mad at him. And that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
They don't go into too much. They don't go too little. They just go, here's what you need to know. Now you're good.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fantastic.
It works perfect.
I love a little comment though. If only Cap could see you now.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Or no, this guy like let me call Cap. Cap.
Yes.
it's what we call him. You know,
Yeah.
we're like friends or associates or
Yeah.
Captain America, but
Like, we're
we call
friends
him
now.
Cap. It's-
we call him Cap.
Me and Captain America are best friends. It's like, no, you're not. Not a chance. Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. It was a good movie. It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
It was a good fun movie.
And that's what I think I liked about it, because after coming out of Infinity War, and like I liked what they did with Infinity War, but it was depressing.
oh, yeah.
You come out of Infinity War like, God damn.
Yeah.
All right, what's happening next? You go to
yeah.
Ant-Man and you're like, yeah, Ant's playing the drums.
Yeah. The world's going to pot, but the ant's just sitting there playing them drums. Just,
God, that part where he's calling the ants at the pier and the seagulls just keep swinging through.
Oh, that was
that, yeah.
so
Oh
fun.
my gosh.
Like, as soon as he got on one finally, I'm like, why? You just saw what's gonna happen.
see, that's the thing. Like because I was thinking about this when I was walking out of the theater. I was like, you know what I want to see? I want to see like Ant-Man and Wasp and Deadpool. Like that's what I want to see.
yes.
I want to see the three of them in one movie. It would be hilarious. Yeah, like it'd be amazing.
That'd be so good.
What did you think about them deciding to break his suit this time?
In terms of it just like screwing
It
up.
didn't
and,
work properly, right?
I like that they didn't break it, but they explained that it was like a unfinished prototype kind of thing.
Right,
Yeah.
but there was
'Cause
like no other thing with it I found funny.
Oh no, they just made
Yeah.
some
It
great
wasn't-
jokes with
yeah,
it.
I mean, like it wasn't like it's an unfinished prototype. It also spits webs out your ass. You know, it's like
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really pay much attention to it, to be honest.
no,
I mean,
you know,
aside
it
from
added a comedic effect.
yeah, well, I mean, aside from the obvious moments.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
really. I mean, it didn't really.
Like when he got
matter too much to
stuck
me.
big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And,
like
like-
that they added it and that it kind of made sense why they added it, but it also made sense why he wasn't using the older suit, because it was a plot point for later in the movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good,
That
because
was
let's be
hilarious.
honest, all of us knew that he did destroy it. When he
Oh,
was
yeah.
saying no, I was just like, Scott.
Yeah.
I love it. So
July.
what if I were to say I didn't?
Yeah.
How did you get home? I mailed it. You mailed my suit.
Yeah. No,
They've got
I
tracking numbers.
dude, I love that idea. Like Hank Pym is like, because when Hank Pym's asking about it, it's like I thought Hank Pym was gonna be like, good. I don't want that to fall in the hands of anybody
Yeah.
else. He's like, it's my life's work, man. Why'd you destroy it? Oh, it was funny. Yeah, it had some cool moments. But yeah, okay. So Janet.
Well, before I got one last thing I want to ask you about.
Okay.
How do you feel about Hope? Because Hope is
Oh,
pretty
I
much
love
being
Hope Van
invented in
Dyne.
the comics now as Nadia. That's their version of her.
Yeah.
But Hope, I thought Hope's great.
Yeah, I don't really care about Nadia in the comics, but I love Hope Van Dyne in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evangeline Lilly is. Oh man. And then
She definitely
yeah.
rocks that skin tight suit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with
Well,
Evangeline
there's
Lilly.
another thing I read in an article. You got to think she's like, I want to say the third strong female character in the MCU.
Yeah.
She like they don't
And she's
have
got
that
good
many.
strength. Like
Yeah.
she's not we need to make a strong female character. Like she legit earned who she was. And
Yeah.
I think that's what makes her such a good
Yeah.
character is she really does live up to who she's supposed to be and not just, oh, well, it's Hank Pym's daughter.
That's why I keep saying they're gonna make an A-Force movie.
Oh yeah.
Like with
yeah.
Carol Danvers, like they're gonna do A-Force at some point. Like,
Yeah, so-
there's no way they couldn't.
Unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it's Black Widow. Then Valkyrie was the second like strong female lead they put in, and
Yeah.
now Wasp is the third.
In terms of having like an active role in doing things, yes. In terms of being in there, Pepper Potts.
Would
But she doesn't actually do anything.
She was more of
what I'm
a-
saying,
Didn't she
yeah.
get a
She was a
repulsor blast
strong
at one point?
side
Yeah,
character.
that's why I
would
said
say.
like being in there and doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, yeah, Black Widow.
And no, Captain
Yeah.
Marvel will be the next one they use.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She'll be the first one to get a movie.
I'm actually kind of excited to see what they're going to do with her because she's supposed to be like super powerful, which is crazy because she's not interesting or that powerful in Marvel Comics.
No, she's not.
So it's
she
like,
can
damn.
be that powerful, but she hasn't been in a long time.
Yeah, not
Kevin
just
Feige said
binary.
that she's going to be the strongest person in the MCU.
Yeah,
See, I'm curious as to, like, because of that statement, how strong are we talking? Are we talking like every single time she goes into a fight, we're just going to be like, well, we know what's going to happen?
no, well, I
Like-
don't think it'll be anything like that. I
No.
mean, when he says strongest in the MCU, it's like strongest relatively speaking. So like, she can knock a building down.
Well,
So
are we
the
saying
problem is
she's
she's going to be
basically-
stronger than the Hulk. Is what
I
she's
was-
going to have to be.
Yeah. Is she basically going to be their cop-out for the fact that they're not using the Hulk to his fullest potential?
Or is the Hulk officially going to be gone?
Yeah.
And so she'll be the strongest in the MCU
Until
because
the Hulk
we
comes
don't
back.
have the Hulk.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good way to do it. Like, bring her in, have her play out the role of being the Hulk until the Hulk comes back. But the Hulk's strength is limitless. Like, we know that in the
Yeah.
MCU.
That's what I mean.
yeah.
Like, so him stating
So-
that's an interesting statement
Yeah.
because we know the Hulk is the strongest that there is. He says it all the time.
Yeah. Even when he's
Yeah.
getting beat up. He says it all the time. But like when Maestro beat the hell out of him, he was saying Hulk's the strongest one there is. And Maestro's like, I know, that's why I'm kicking your ass. Yeah. Because I'm the strongest one there is. But yeah, no, I'm kind of excited. I mean, I could see him saying that from like a base strength form. Like when Banner first turns into Hulk.
Yeah.
Like Carol Danvers outclasses him. But then like the angrier he gets, like eventually, there's nothing she's going to be able to do to stop him.
So do we think she's going to be like on par as like Superman?
The rumor I've heard is she's going to be strong enough to like move planets.
So she's
So
gonna
like
be,
I don't-
Superman,
yeah,
she's
Superman,
going to
yeah.
be
what,
like
was, what was that
Yeah.
time that she had unlimitless power?
Binary.
Binary. Okay.
Yeah, that was Chris Claremont's Binary.
Wasn't that like Miss Marvel? It was between Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel.
No, yeah, it was Miss Marvel, Binary, Warbird, Captain Marvel.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
that was like a phase up to Captain
Yeah,
Marvel.
yeah.
Okay. She did have like an insane amount of power for a brief period.
Yeah, she could like, she had the ability to, she had the power of like a white dwarf star. It's Doctor Strange magic. It's
Right.
it's whatever in the hell I want her to do.
Yeah,
That's how
exactly.
she's able to do it.
See, that's
So
always
it's-
been my problem with Captain Marvel is a lot of the time when you read the comics about her, until she does anything, you're like, okay, which part of the power scale is she going to be on this time?
Yeah.
Like, is she going to be super strong, or is she somehow going to be super weak that she requires other people?
That's like every Spider-Man story.
Exactly.
Is he going to be
Yeah.
solo this one, or is he going to conveniently have problems?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's weird. You go read Civil War and Carol Danvers is not very interesting at all. And then you go read like Captain Marvel by Kelly Sue DeConnick and she's just like wrecking people.
Oh, dude, she's
And
so awesome in
Yeah,
that
she's
book.
an absolute monster. So
All
it's-
right.
it kind of depends.
I know you've been waiting.
Janet?
Explain the quantum realm, microverse, and Janet.
I'm so excited
Yes.
about this. All right, so I think like if it's true, Janet Van Dyne became God, but I don't know. I don't
That's a hell
know.
of a statement.
Dude,
Yeah, wow.
Okay. So
Especially after saying that Miss Marvel's going to be the strongest. Nope. Step
Okay.
aside, Miss Marvel.
So,
Janet
but-
Van Dyne.
So like she's disintegrated though. So I remember it was half the life. So there was no rhyme or reason. It was just whatever the plot demanded,
Yeah.
basically. And those are the ones that got wiped out. So in Marvel Comics, you have the microverse, this little tiny itty bitty microscopic universe. And what kind of like it's like the Force from Star Wars. You have the Enigma Force, and Marvel calls it that because no one's ever bothered to explain it, and it'll be that way forever. So like no one really knows what it is. It's just a thing that's there, and it bonds the universe, the microverse together, all that kind of stuff. Every once in a while, when shit pops off, the Enigma Force will like show up in the main Marvel universe and bond itself to a person, and then that person will become Captain Universe, and then they have like the Unipower.
Unipower?
Yeah, Unipower.
Is it
It's
powered
whatever.
by the unibrow?
I thought that.
They're supposed to be a protector of like the of the universe, of the cosmic entity eternity. But that was like during Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers.
Yeah.
Like Captain Universe showed up and they're like, hey, Captain Universe, how do we stop the collapse of the multiverse? And Captain Universe is like, but like you can't though. So like bye. Like
He
and that
really
was
did. It was basically that, yeah.
It was pretty messed up. But Captain Universe brings in like a whole nother thing because the Enigma Force can bond itself to anyone. For example, Spider-Man had the Enigma Force and beat the hell out of the Incredible Hulk. What was? Oh God, no, she was Captain Marvel at one point. Monica Rambeau. There was another chick, but there's been different people who have been Captain Universe over the years. Basically, what it would do is it would bring in the idea that say like Thanos' actions impacted everything. Like maybe that's why there is nothing in the microverse because it was half the life in the universe, which includes everything in the microverse, is dead. So I mean, we don't know, but still, with what she demonstrated, being able to like control effectively the quantum energy
Yeah.
of Ghost and like shut it down, get her back in order. Like that shows the ability to manipulate like quantum energy or the ability. Oh my God, what is she? Okay. No, oh my God.
Is Rob having a whole conversation with himself in his head?
Okay, no.
Let's hear this.
No, okay. Janet Van Dyne does not become Captain Universe.
Okay.
Janet Van Dyne becomes like Quasar.
And
like the quantum bands.
Yes,
the quantum bands, yeah.
I was
like
actually going to ask you about that.
The quantum bands. Oh, dude.
I love the Rob's awakening. It's almost like in his head he was like, "No, Rob. Oh yeah."
You could see the cog turning.
I had two trains of thought going at the same time. One train of thought was my idea with Janet Van Dyne and Captain Universe, and the other train of thought was like, but like quantum energy sounds so familiar though. And it's like, yeah, like Quasar. I mean, I don't think she'll be like Phi Lavelle, although that'd be badass to have Phi Lavelle. I don't think we'll have like Phi Lavelle Quasar, the daughter of Wendell Vaughn. Not really Wendell Vaughn. The daughter of who was Phi Lavelle the daughter of? She wasn't the daughter of Wendell Vaughn. Marvell, daughter of Marvell. And then and then she dated Moondragon for a while, the daughter of Drax the Destroyer. And then that'd be cool. But no, I mean, I'd be down to see like a Quasar character. Basically, what this means, the long and short of it, whether or not it's the unipower in Captain Universe, whether or not it's quantum energy or whatever, it basically means that like a new source of energy has been introduced into the main Marvel Cinematic Universe, taken from the quantum realm, brought to the main Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it could be something that's like given to someone else. Like I could see that being the case. Like with Hope Van Dyne, like what's she gonna do against Thanos? Like if they bring her back, whatever, what's she gonna? She's not gonna do anything. She's gonna be able to shrink, punch Thanos, and he's gonna be like, get out of here, and that's gonna be the end of her. But if Janet Van Dyne's like, here, take this power to like control quantum energy, and then she's like Quasar, and then she just takes off.
You think she'll do that?
Quasar, I don't know, but like if that power can kind of be passed on, then you're introducing like a new level of thing. But no, oh my God, dude, there's so many possibilities now. Oh my God, there's so many possibilities you can go with now.
Are you gonna be okay, Rob?
I'm gonna be okay. This is nuts.
With the whole quantum energy, that kind of thing, I was actually, when I was picturing it, I thought what she was doing was she was pulling the quantum energy out of Ghost.
Hold on,
because she got her powers because of the explosion of the quantum energy from that. Janet just came out of that. So she's basically been living in there, that she's, in a way, the embodiment of the quantum force. And that's why, like, when she touches her, she pulls it out of her because she's used to it. She's able to stabilize with it.
Yeah.
And that's how she's normal again, because she's no longer freaking out because she's taken that energy out of her. That's what I kept thinking of when she did that. That was her basically absorbing the power, which could bring in different factors of, can she absorb the power of other people? Like, is she gonna do that to other people, or?
I mean, I could see it confined to like quantum, like just quantum energy.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like manipulating and transmogrifying quantum energy. But like the ability to take that power, give it to because if she can take it from someone, it stands to reason she can give it to someone.
Yeah.
So like I mean that's why I say the applications for that are insane, because quantum is just like a really really vague term. It's just like sciencey matter. And that's it. It's like sciencey stuff, and it's just like a thing, and like powers and stuff, and they can do things. And so like they can go any number of directions. Mm-hmm. I mean, what if the quantum realm was basically the negative zone without calling it the negative zone? Like, I don't know.
What if they're kind of combining them all? Because one thing that they haven't touched on, how did Janet stay alive? She aged, so it wasn't like she was locked up in
they were
time.
talking about like time passes different there.
Well, even with time passing different. I mean, she's been there long. She's been there 30-something years.
She's about the same age as Hank Pym.
That's what I mean.
Her physical body aged the same way, but time, I don't know.
And she got new clothes.
That's
scarf,
okay.
goggles.
That was my
She got it from
question.
somewhere?
Like
Yeah.
that was like
When she came out, I was expecting it to look like shredded versions of the Wasp outfit.
Yes, but she had new clothes.
Yeah, new clothes.
So she got them from
survived
somebody
somehow.
somewhere.
I
Yeah.
think it definitely is like the microverse where it actually does have stuff down there, because every time she was explaining stuff, she was talking about like landmarks. That kind of was implying that there was some sort of civilization down there that.
Yeah,
or
but she didn't go around
something-
naming them all.
Because she
Yeah,
was
but,
like,
like-
you got to make sure that you don't get trapped in like the sand dunes. I know it wasn't the sand dunes,
Yeah.
but like she was naming things.
Don't let the sand people get you.
And
which
they had the
kind of
whale-like
implied,
things.
Yeah.
it kind of implied that there's no way that she was going through and while she's naming all of this. It kind of sounded like
Or she's been
there
there
was
30
other
years and really
stuff.
bored going, that is tree 5.
Right.
Yeah.
You are tree Hank. Hi, Hank. It's been a while.
Just losing
You're
her
a
mind.
giant whale thing.
Right.
Yeah, going crazy talking to trees.
Because like the reason why she might not have been near the other people was she was trying to, like, she went to that location because according to the math, that was where Hank was going to show up. So that would make sense why they could use the excuse of there was nothing else there, was because she had to go there so that they could match up, and that was the meeting point. Because she kept saying
like having
that,
a helicopter land out in a big field.
exactly.
Helicopters are going in my backyard, but it would land in
Exactly,
the
and you
field
don't
on the
see
road.
anything there, but on the other side of the tree line, there could be a full city.
Yeah. But like that works though, because
Carnage
like
is there.
and
I
Carnage was
really
there?
can we get that Carnage story where he gets
You
into
didn't
the
know about that one?
microverse?
Carnage finds out how to go to the microverse, goes down there, and like takes over.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
so,
so
Agent
awesome.
Venom and
That
Kane
is
go
awesome.
after him. It's a Scott
Wow.
Spider story.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because, like, literally, as soon as Janet Van Dyne, like the first time they encounter her, oh my God, she takes over the body of Steven.
That
like,
was
dude, I
probably
so
the
funny. I
funniest
love
thing.
that.
I was so waiting for her to
I-
kiss Hank.
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna go to kiss her, and then like she was gonna leave, and Scott was gonna wake up and be like, "What the hell?"
I like the hand.
When I saw that, you could kind of see, like, when looking at Paul Rudd, right?
Yeah.
He's a good
You
actor.
could kind of see, like, the enjoyment in his face of, I'm pretending to be a woman right now. Like, you could kind of see how he was like, oh my gosh, I am loving this right now. And I just found
Paul
that
Rudd's
part
such a good actor. When he
he's
shifted,
so
you
good.
immediately knew something was off.
Yes.
You knew, like, right away. It wasn't even like a second. It didn't take you. You weren't
It
like.
was a different character.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's so good.
Yeah, he's an amazing actor.
That part was.
But like
probably
you
my
get that
favorite.
whole experience where she takes over Paul Rudd, and then she comes back, and then like it's immediately a conflict. So there's no real time for like exposition. Like,
Yeah.
oh hey, by the way, guys, you won't believe what I found down there. An entire like universe of people and beings. Like
and
there wasn't
at
enough
the
time.
ending, the mid-credit scene where he goes down there again. They're sending him back in, meaning she knows where to go. She knows things are there. For all we know, they've given the whole explanation, and we're going to get it in Ant-Man 3 or in Avengers 4.
Yeah.
You know, Cassie goes there, gets him, and comes back. Holy God, there's like a whole civilization down there. We'll deal with
Yeah.
that in my movie.
Yeah. Wow, look at all those things. It's weird.
Because maybe she's been eating, drinking, maybe all that stuff's down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. She would need some source of energy to keep herself satiated. So she would need nutrients.
Unless that's why she's got the quantum energy within her. That's how she's basically created her nutrients. And we might see a way that she has to access the quantum realm to live. She's no longer able to live off of food and water. She needs that energy to survive because she adapted so much down there. Because she talks about the fact that she evolved.
Yeah.
That she evolved while she was down there, and maybe she's now like photosynthesis, but with quantum energy.
Do you think that Scott is going... Because I was thinking about this when she said she had powers. And Scott's now going to be down there, especially if we have a time
If
jump.
he's gonna get it,
Do you think he's going to have powers?
maybe.
I don't know if he'll have power so much as the ability to know how to manipulate it, maybe. But honestly, I mean, that's the thing. Like, because one of the things they establish is time and space are different there. So, I mean, it could just be that like he's just older. Like by the time they get to him, he's 20 years older, and he's just there.
Nothing's changed? It's
Nothing's
that
really changed.
21-year marker you gain powers, and he left
I
her,
have,
like-
I have no clue. But well, see, that's the thing. Like, we have no idea what Janet Van Dyne was doing. Like, we don't know if she went down there, she met the Micronauts, they taught her how to use the power, like the, you know, like whatever it is. You know, they said, here's how you use the whole quantum power, and she was using it ever since. Like, if that was the case, then Scott Lang's just free floating out there. For all intents and purposes, it would be like Scott Lang free floating out by Alpha Centauri and that, you know, or like in the Vega system out in space. Like, who the hell's ever going to find him?
Yeah.
He's just out there. Like, you know, so that kind of seems to be what's going on. I mean, it's a good way to bring in Cassie Lang and to have her save him. But
How do you feel about the ending in general, so you can go to your segues about Avengers 4? What do you think about that mid-credit scene?
I liked it.
I did too.
Yeah.
It was
I
such
liked
a
it.
good...
We're
like,
talking about him going back in, right?
So for those guys who maybe didn't stick around for the mid-credits,
Yeah.
all of them are going in back into the quantum zone.
Yeah.
Scott goes
is,
down
yeah.
there, and then everyone's dusted.
Yes.
And he's just stuck down there.
And here's the funny thing. I was like, they kept saying the movie was going to tie into Infinity War, and I was like, this is when it's going to happen.
I wasn't even... So when
Yeah.
he went down there, and he was like, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I thought he was going to come back up, and there's going to be a villain or something. I didn't even dawn on me.
Yeah.
And then we go up, and you see the dust, and I was like, oh!
Yeah.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, no, I really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that idea that like they're gone now. Because that means that once Scott Lang comes back, he's gonna have to deal with the fact that because as far as he knows, they're dead forever.
He has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like dead. They lost him,
abandoned
or what
him,
happened?
or like.
Yeah. Well, he's. I mean, he literally. It's one of the, it's like a Night of the Living Dead thing. You go to sleep in a sane world, you wake up to an insane world.
Yeah.
And like the whole world just
he's
loses
gonna
its
come
mind.
back because he's in Avengers 4. We've seen him and Wasp in the footage on the set.
Yeah.
So we know they're there. So, but he's gonna come back and be like, all right, so we gotta find Hank. What do you mean he's dusted? What do you mean half the world is dusted?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be like
this
mass
Thanos
hysteria.
Cassie, why are you so large?
Yeah, it's gonna be pandemonium and mass hysteria. Like it's gonna be. He's gonna come back to a war zone, which hopefully is being handled by Punisher. So
He comes back, you just see Punisher. I've been waiting for you guys.
wow, just spraying everybody down. Like no, I would love to see that with like if like Scott Lang comes back and like they have an Avengers 4 segment and like John Bernthal Punisher is just like chasing some guy down in the background and like I would just be like yes. That's all I wanted to see.
You know, they finally confirmed that. I remember reading about it. They confirmed that they wanted the U-Haul truck in Civil War or Winter Soldier to be Punisher, but they couldn't because of the rights. So now it's just a Shield guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember reading
Okay.
about that. Like,
Do you know about that? Okay. So, well,
who are you pointing at? Cameras?
I was talking to
Twitch? Gary?
I was talking to Gary. All right, you tell him the whole thing about the.
Okay, so in the Winter Soldier movie, they're being chased by the bad guys, Hydra, and a U-Haul truck basically.
A Penske truck.
Penske truck comes out of nowhere, slams into it, takes them out, and no one knows who is driving the Penske truck. The rumor had it that they wanted to use Punisher, but they couldn't due to a right situation. So they just had so the Russo brothers were like, that was Punisher driving the truck. He was helping out. He was a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. or got called up by Nick Fury or somebody like that. Recently, they had to come back, though, and say, due to rights, we can't make it him, because now he has a movie, or a TV show.
Oh, it's like, when did he get a movie?
Oh, you missed it. It was last year.
Yeah. They came out right after Infinity War. No, not Infinity War. What movie came out last year? Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I might be wrong on this, but I was reading that they had to come out and just basically say, it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. guy, because we can't use him ever, so we can't imply it's him.
Well, that's the thing, because it happens twice.
Yeah.
It's a Penske truck each time in the movie. Yeah, or maybe was it twice in the same movie, or was it in two different movies? I want to say it was twice in that movie.
Yeah, I think it was two different times. I don't remember what the situation was.
It was a Penske truck that showed up each time. It was like the Punisher driving it. See, I love that theory.
Yeah.
That the Punisher was the one who was trying to help out. And it would make sense that Nick Fury would call him up and just be like, hey man, like I need you to help me out with something.
Just go do your thing.
Yeah, just stay under the radar.
I'll look this way. You go do that.
Yeah. It's cool. It's really, really exciting because like I look at Ant-Man and Wasp and it's like, man, like it was fun, it was adventure, it had a great story, it had a great villain. Like even Ghost wasn't really even a villain.
No, that's why I said that's why they had to have a villain. That's why Sonny was there.
Yeah, I keep thinking of Ghost as a villain, but Ghost wasn't a villain. She was just a chick trying to fix herself. Like, see,
Funny, real quick, the Twitch was like sponsored by U-Haul. I'm just picturing the Penske truck plowing into multiple cars. And it's like, if you had a U-Haul, that wouldn't have happened.
oh man. I mean, we could make that commercial and they get sued by Penske. That's what would happen.
And U-Haul's like, we love you.
Yeah, we're not gonna help you with a lawsuit, but we love you. But yeah, no, yeah, it was an enjoyable movie. I had a great time watching it. I did not walk out disappointed at all.
Yeah.
You were iffy on seeing it too. You
was.
weren't sure if you wanted to go bother at all.
I wasn't. I looked at that and I was like, I don't really care about Ant-Man and Wasp that much. I mean, legitimately, like in the MCU, I mean, they're fun, and I loved watching Ant-Man 1. But it's like they're almost like the leftovers, right? You know, like the other guys.
Yeah, they are.
But that's
kind of how the Guardians are and everyone else, though.
Yeah,
the
that's the
Guardians
thing.
being in Avengers 4 or 3, whatever one that was,
Avengers 3.
makes them more included in the universe. So Ant-Man not being in anything with Civil War, kind of it's like,
Yeah.
he's out there.
Then I think Avengers 4 will change that. I think having Avengers 4 with Hope Van Dyne and Scott Lang will like bring him into being like part of the main MCU. Like he won't feel like an outlier.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I want to say that about Ant-Man and Wasp, or just Ant-Man in general, how we were considering him like the other guys. The one thing I loved about Ant-Man and Wasp is the fact that they make you love the supporting cast. Like all the guys in his security firm, basically.
Oh, Luis is hilarious.
Yeah, Luis.
When he puts the truth serum in him and they do that classic story of him, like most of the time when you go in a movie, you don't finish and you're like, oh, supporting cast, I remember who they are. But in this movie, I left and I'm like, okay, I love these guys.
I love these. We got Tiny, and then we got Big.
Yeah.
This is where he isn't emotionally right now.
What was the Russian guy? He kept referring, like, it was, because I thought he was going to make like a John Wick reference. You know, because he was referring to like the boogeyman.
The
Russian
boogeyman. And then she shows
hilarious.
up and he's like, oh no, the Babisky or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just so good because they weren't made to be like, oh, clearly they're huge guys. No, they've got their small roles, but you love them.
Yeah.
Like
I
they
liked
give you
how-
a reason.
Did they do this in the first one? When he was telling, because I could have sworn, so in the first one I thought when Luis
Baba
told the
Yaga.
story.
Baba Yaga.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's
In the
boogeyman
first
name.
Ant-Man when Luis told his story, I thought they did different scenes for each one of them, like scenes that didn't exist the first time, so we could tell his story the way he does it.
What do you mean?
Well, so in this one, when he told the story, they lifted scenes that already existed in the movie. But instead of it being that scene, they were talking like him.
Oh, yeah.
Last
See,
time
I
it
love
was
that.
his own story, so
Okay.
it was a different thing. Just like right as he starts, it was that different thing of them at the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they did, because he was talking about where he was, that was basically like their mini way of summarizing the first film.
See, what I want to know, I want this like as like a behind the scenes or like director commentary or something like that. I want to know how in the hell they were able to mouth exactly what Luis is saying as he was saying it. Like I want to know how they.
Perfect.
It's so perfect. Yeah, they say it perfect.
The way he does that, honestly, I would love if they did a Cliff Notes of all the Marvel movies and it's him telling you what the movie's about.
Oh my
People have
God,
theorized that
yes.
for a long time, that Marvel should use him as the recap guy.
It would
Yeah.
be so good.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. You see like Steve Rogers, and then you have like Thor, then like the Hulk. You know,
Right.
I was like, man, I'm so tired, man. You know, like,
I'm so angry. I hate the world.
hilarious. Oh my God, they need that. Yeah, dude, make him.
I don't care about
guy.
the sun going down.
Yeah, I just do it because it makes her happy. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's God, that movie was interesting. See, the more I talk about it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has some great moments.
It's funny because the RnBe 4 days ago, you were like, it was okay.
Yeah,
And now you're like, no, it was great!
yeah.
You know, actually, one thing I also want to say just about Marvel movies as a whole, I love that they're lately I've not felt like any of them have big lulls. Like, I feel like they don't really, like we were worried about with Avengers of Infinity War. We were kind of worried that when they went into new characters, we were going to have to sit through like a small explanation of who they were.
Yeah.
That it just gets into the action or it just gets into what you need to know. And I feel like they've been doing that with a lot of the Marvel movies lately.
I feel
Yeah.
And you just are constantly being entertained. There's no parts where you're like, are we going to get to a fight soon?
Yeah,
Well,
like
I
the
feel
story's
like
told along the
they're
way.
doing
Yeah.
the exact opposite of what DC's doing. DC assumes this may be everyone's first movie. So we got to tell you how Batman became Batman.
Yeah.
You know, we got to tell you how the Flash became the Flash.
Like, well, you know what, DC? It's Batman. You have to leave Earth to find someone who doesn't know who Batman is. Everyone knows how Bruce Wayne became Batman.
Right, but I think
I
the
don't need the
Marvel
origin
movies are taking
story.
the approach of
Yeah.
you're not going to watch Ant-Man and Wasp unless you at least have an idea.
Yeah.
But-
Or you're with someone who has an idea that will explain.
Or they'll
Yeah.
tell you in one sentence all you need to know.
Yeah. And I think all that's predicated because they kicked everything off using relatively obscure characters. Iron Man, Thor. I mean, people know of the characters, but knowing their stories, most
Yeah.
people didn't.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you sit down and you say, okay, so like, here's this character named Thor, based on Norse mythology, and like, there's Asgard and all that kind of stuff, and you have to explain the comic book version of his character to like the layman. Like, you got to be able to condense that down into an easy to understand way, and then like run through the movie.
Yeah.
And so I think like that format has paid off exceedingly well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just glad to see they're not killing off all the people who could go on to be like great villains.
That's one
So-
thing I haven't understood, and we are going to have the whole discussion about that on Thursday. I don't understand why they've killed off so many people, though. Like,
they said
you
that.
could have had all the villains head off, and it'd be no problem at all because they just won't show up again. I mean,
Yeah, Feige and them said the stories about the heroes, but that's the problem. Is sometimes the villains are more interesting than the heroes.
You know, I wonder if it's for the people who are not big comic book fans, and that they're doing that so that someone who goes, oh, well, he was against this villain in this movie, the next one he's against that same villain. Well, I saw it in the first one. Why do I need to see the second one?
But what I'm saying is, you don't have to kill them. They could have all just run off.
Yeah.
But like even when they show back up, people have that idea of, well, they're just gonna retell the story.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, I think so, but just because they're there doesn't mean they have to have a big role. For example, Electro was the most well, he was interesting, but he was never a very cool Spider-Man villain. Like he was never really put to any measure of use or worthwhileness. He was just a guy who was there and could electrocute the shit out of people. And then he took down power to the Raft.
Yeah.
In New Avengers, and every single supervillain escaped. And Purple Man made Luke Cage beat the hell out of everybody. And then it's like, okay, so like Electro's cool. It's like the only one great moment he ever had in the history of his publication. And like, it was an awesome moment when like Elektra had him take down all of the, take down all the power to the Wrath. And so you look at that and it's like, but what if they did that in the MCU? It's just like one moment. Like,
right.
Yeah.
But if he just showed up for a minute, like, all right, that's
exactly.
cool, he left.
Yeah, like Ghost shows up and like Hank, whoever it is, Hope Van Dyne goes to attack someone. Ghost shows up for a split second, punches her, and leaves. And it's just like just to be a dick, or like I mean, just like but the idea is you can just because a character is the villain of a hero doesn't mean they can only appear in movies belonging to that hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like have them appear in other events and play other roles and different things like that. Because
Thank you so much for that sub, Smoke Eater.
Oh, splooge, smoke eater.
Smoke Eater.
How do you eat smoke?
1187. I don't know. I don't want to go much into this because we do have the whole discussion going on.
Yeah.
But I just want to get your quick opinion on this, and we'll revamp this we'll redo this on the RnBe. But in my opinion, the three most wasted opportunities as villains: Ultron, Killmonger, and Baron Zemo.
Killmonger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think Baron Zemo they're holding around because he's not dead.
Yeah, but
Baron Zemo's still
But he
alive.
wasn't Baron Zemo either. Like, why even give him the name?
Well, because I think he's going to go on and form the Thunderbolts. Yeah. But because here's the thing. Here's something that I think that Marvel's kind of betting on here. This is the great thing about the events of Infinity War. Imagine, and you could easily see this playing out. Imagine that we basically get like Forever Evil.
That would be awesome.
You get DC's Forever Evil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like the villains become heroes just to save the Earth, and like that's super cool. And I think that's a cool situation. Like that's why Baron Zemo forms the Thunderbolts. So like all these villains who I don't know for whatever reason, like they all end up coming back or something like that by way of time travel or what have you. And he's like, well, we all need to form a team to like save the Earth because things are going to pop off. And so you get Thunderbolts out of it. I mean, there's a lot that you can do. But no, I'd go with that list 100%. Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that on Thursday. So if you guys want to know more about our opinions on the MCU villains, join us on our Thursday podcast. RnBe will be filmed live, and then it'll go live on the channel at some point. We'll have the three of us discussing it there, giving Dan plenty of time to think for once. We have a tendency to go, Dan, you're on today's episode. He'll be like, when are we starting? I'm like, 10 minutes.
And he still won't tell me the topic until I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he'll tell me a completely different topic, and then I'll sit down all prepared, and he goes, so it's this now.
Yeah.
I do that in the gaming podcast.
Really?
Like
All
I'll
the
tell him
time.
and Natalie the topic, and then we'll sit down and be like, "What was it?" I said today we're going to talk about MMOs today,
Yeah.
And what the current state of MMOs." And we sat down and I'm like, "So I want to talk about Sony screwing over Fortnite."
Yeah.
Wow. Hold on. How did Sony screw over Fortnite?
Oh, we did a whole podcast on it, but basically, Fortnite and everyone has pretty much come out and said crossplay is completely possible. Xbox, Switch, and PC are all cross-playing everything. Sony's the odd man out.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
They
Sony
don't
thing.
want to play with the rest of the kids.
Scumbag Sony. Well, you know what happens when kids don't want to play with the rest of the kids, Sony? They get labeled as social weirdos, and they end up never having any social skills when they grow up.
Hold on. Do you think that social weirdo is an actual classification of a person?
I meant to say like a socially awkward person, but yeah. a social weirdo, yeah.
I can
Don't
see
be a
Rob
weirdo.
walking into a playground, going up to a lady and be like, "Is your son one of those social weirdos?"
Yeah,
I
we're
think everyone would be a
weirdos that
little
love talking
weirded
to
out.
people.
If Rob just shows up to a playground to talk to people,
Yes.
I would think
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty
true. We
weird.
probably have other problems. But
Yeah.
so, closing thoughts on Ant-Man and Wasp. You guys liked it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I definitely.
It's
I'll
in my
definitely
top
add it to
films.
my collection of movies.
Yeah, I'm definitely loving the direction they're taking Ant-Man. I'm loving what they're doing with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Until the movie, I didn't give a crap about Ant-Man. But so I don't know. It's funny because Winter Soldier I liked beforehand, but Guardians of the Galaxy, my second favorite, and my third favorite Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Both of those, I didn't care at all
Dude,
about
you are
those
not the only one.
superheroes until those movies.
You are not the only one. So many people were
Well,
in
in
that
my
boat.
defense, Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't even a thing. At least Scott Lang was around.
Guardians of the Galaxy was a thing, just not the way it was in the movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least Scott Lang is the same guy, so I can go read all these old books. I tried reading those old Guardians
No,
of the Galaxy.
yeah, it
books.
was. It was after Annihilation. Annihilation
No, but
Conquest.
the version that is in the movie became Brian Michael Bendis's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
And he made them like the movie finally.
Because he's the one that brought in Carol Danvers and Agent Venom
Yeah.
and
Teamed him up with Iron Man.
Yeah, Team Up with Iron Man, yeah. Because
Awesome.
Matt Fraction wrote him out. Rick Remender wrote. Recommend or Matt Fraction?
Because they had the serious Guardians, which isn't a horrible thing, but I wasn't as interested in that.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved his.
I mean, I liked him in
Guardians.
Annihilation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Peter was more dick than goofy dick.
Yeah.
Just straight, I'm a dick.
I don't remember if I ever covered Annihilation.
Oh!
I feel like I
Okay,
need to.
I'm gonna end this today's show with I gotta break this over to you. Lobo got a Green Lantern ring. What's the first thing construct you think he made?
Penis.
Yes.
Did he really?
Yes. He went to Atrocitus. Atrocitus hits him, and he's like, I'm the main man. And he raises it, and Atrocitus is like, you dare hit me with that vile thing. And all the other Green Lanterns are like, oh my God, he really made that.
He hit him with a giant
And he
penis.
blasts him in the head
Wow.
with it.
Oh my God.
And Guy Gardner's like, I want to be disgusted, but that was amazing.
Wow.
And then they get, like, the whole thing happens, and they go later in the comic, and Sade gets turned back away from Starro. She turns back into normal Green Lantern, and she's like, is that Lobo with the Green Lantern ring? And another person goes, yes, but you may want to have all the other Green Lanterns following him, creating censorship bars. And Starfire is like, it's a great educational moment.
Wow. I mean, that sounds like such a Lobo thing to do. But I didn't feel like DC would ever do that.
It's the latest issue. No,
Wow.
it's the last issue
Yeah.
of Injustice 2. Not this week, it was last week's. I didn't think, they didn't show it, but you know what he did the whole way through.
Dude, you have to make that. You have to tell like Lobo makes a giant Green Lantern penis.
Dude,
like you have to tie
he
it with
launches
that.
it and they show basically a penis just like blasting out like it's a beam, hitting Atrocitus, and I'm just thinking in my head, Lobo being like, mushroom stamp!
Oh my God. I would laugh my ass off. Just see this great big
my God.
wobbly green hard-like construct just flying towards him and just boom. And
I
just
was
like
like, what was
flopping.
that? Lobo, the main man, making penises with the Green Lantern.
Oh man. That's
Oh
such
my
a Lobo
God.
thing to do. That's the most Lobo thing ever.
But they were already referencing his penis earlier than that because they cut him in half, and he's just like, the legs are back and all the important bits as well.
Wow.
I like that you guessed it first time.
I know.
Because it's exactly something Lobo would
Yeah,
do.
that's exactly what Lobo
Yeah.
would do. That's why I asked you. I'm like, I knew you would guess
Yeah.
that or motorcycle.
I'm trying to think
I
of
was going
like
to say motorcycle, actually.
yeah, I'm trying to think of like the most vile thing that Lobo could possibly do with a Green Lantern ring. And I'm like, yeah, make a giant penis. That's exactly what he would do.
And it's exactly what he did
That's
too.
exactly what he did. Wow. DC.
Yep. So that's our thoughts on Ant-Man and
Yeah.
what happened in Injustice last week.
Start out with Ant-Man and with giant penises. Green Lantern penises.
Green penises.
Green penises.
If you guys are, I don't know when this is going to be posted, but just in case, you can find Rob over at Comics Explained. Dan's at Dan T Editor. I'm at Comicstorian. Subscribe to Rob's channel, Comics Explained. I'm at Comicstorian. Stick around on this Twitch channel. We come back quite often. We'll be back on Thursday with the RnBe discussing the Marvel villain situation.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a great episode to put out.
It'll be fun.
And we'll drag Dan here. He now has 2 days to prep, and we'll come up with another topic.
Works for me.